Hello, there's news just emerging, very interesting news about Boris Johnson's wife, and a photograph has come out with her in some sort of embrace with a lady called Anna Pinder, who was one of her school friends when she was at school in London some years, not so many years ago, of course. And this photograph was taken on the 17th of September 2020. Why is that significant? Because 3 days before that, COVID restrictions were tightened, and Boris had said that we should be limiting our social contact. And there we got this photograph of Carrie with her leg over Anna Pinder's leg. Embracing a friend at an engagement party. And it brings up for me the whole issue, because Boris is of course very interested in classics. It brings up for me the whole issue of the idea that Caesar's wife should be above suspicion. Caesar's wife was a lady called Pompeia, and Boris really ought to, maybe now he's got the opportunity to follow Caesar's example and divorce his wife. And of course he's got form in that department. And Carrie, as a way of explanation, regrets a momentary lapse of judgment. Well, the whole thing seems to be a momentary lapse of judgment, because there's also stories, which she denies, of a party for the wildlife charity that she now heads, that took place in the flat of number 10, probably the flat of number 11. I think the Prime Minister lives above number 11 and the Chancellor lives above number 10. That may have changed now. Maybe I'm out of date. The point is, she really ought to know better. She was the communications director, or she was one of the communications directors of the Conservative Party, and we're now told that she doesn't play a central role, although people have suggested that she does. It's something that, again, she says is incorrect, a momentary lapse of journalists' observations. But to go back to Caesar's wife, Caesar married, I think, in 67 BC, and he married, I think this probably was his third wife, Pompeia. So there are parallels here with Boris. And in 63 BC, Caesar became the Pontifex Maximus and moved into the official residence on the Via Sacra in Rome. Now, in 62 BC, the year after, his wife Pompeia threw a party in his official residence. It's all got shades of parallels here. And Pompeia threw a party for the very reasonable religious reason to celebrate the festival of Bona Dea. And no man was allowed at that party. It was only girls' night out. But Publius Clodius Pulcher climbed in over the wall, dressed up in drag. He was caught, he was prosecuted, but because Caesar didn't give any evidence, he was acquitted. And the result was that Caesar divorced his wife on the principle that Caesar's wife should be above suspicion. I think Boris may not be good at some things, but he is certainly a good classicist. I'm sure this idea and the concept of Pompeia will be ringing round his head this morning as he opens the newspaper to this new revelation, yet another piece of news that he doesn't want to see, and presumably he knew about. Do follow the channel, do ring the bell.